Hello, I am Dr. Hadley. This is my video series on Microsoft Excel 365. I'm going to have this first unit on formatting, with the first lesson being on how to format the cells, the font, and that sort of thing. So for this unit, we're going to use the same Excel file, this one called Formatting Lessons. Okay. But it's protected, so you're going to have to follow the web link that is on the screen right now to get to this file. And then you're going to go to File, Create Copy, and create a copy online. You can see this file is just a generic table, made up data to highlight how to format a table so it looks good and is functional. First off, this one you can see is kind of trapped here. I mean, it's not the full length. So what I like to do is take my cursor over the edge, and you should get this double arrow. I double click, and it auto shifts the width. This way, I don't have to mess with, perfectly, adjusting the width that I want. It'll just auto fit it. Right, but once I have that, let's say I click this cell, and I can go to Home. I have all my formatting options up here. So I can change the size, I can change the font, I can make it bold or unbold, etc., etc. I don't like using the ribbon to change the font. I like using the window. So click over here, click back on the cell, right click, and then I go to Format Cells or Control 1. I'm going to get this nice window over here. And to me, it's just structured better. And it's all kind of in there, and I can see the changes as I apply them, whereas the ribbon was kind of covering the cells. So if I go here, I can change the font. I can either look through fonts, or I can just type one in that I know of. So let's do Times New Roman. It pops up right away. Let's make the size 14 because it is a header. And let's make it bold so that it stands out. And you can see it's already not fitted again, so I'm going to autofill it again. And then let's give it some color to make it pop. So let's give it this nice bright red. Now I have this cell completely formatted in the way I would like. Another thing that I might want to do with this is I might want to add some borders. So go over here to border. Okay. I have a lot of different options. I can give it a bottom line, a top line, a border, sides. I can do all the borders, so this is going to give the whole thing that's outside and inside lines. So if I highlight, let's say this section, and then I click over here and click all borders, and see that it puts it around every single cell. Or I can have it just the outline. So if I highlight all these headers, for example, I can go to outline, and it just does the outer ones. Now it's going to leave the ones that were there beforehand, but for everything else, it's just going to apply a border around the edge, nothing in between. I don't like any of those lines, so I'm going to undo it all. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Another option I can do to draw a border or grid is these little buttons down here. So if I click Draw Border, I can draw a border however I want. If I want to do it with the inside lines, I can do that too. I can erase them. So do that really quick. With everything erased, now I can actually add the border I want. So I'm going to click on the cell. I'm going to change the border color to blue because I don't want black. And then I'm going to give it a nice thick bottom line. So apply that. See, I got this nice thick blue line underneath. So can I have that? I can change the type of line I have too. So this is a nice solid line, but I can make it dashed or a thickness or a double line. I have lots of options of how to format these borders in the way that's going to give the best appearance to the street when I'm done. But like I said, I added a blue line because I'm going to want to give it a backdrop. So I'm going to select the cell again. Now, unfortunately, giving it a backdrop or a fill is not exactly easy from the formatting. That's the only one that's kind of easier to do from the ribbon. So once I click the cell, I go over here to this paint bucket. It's yellow right now. It says fill color. Now I can give it a fill color of black, and that's going to really help that red pop. As you can see, I've got the nice blue underline. The red's popping with the black. In all honesty, I don't really like the color, but this is just for demonstration purposes. But I have everything I want on there. So let's say I want to copy the formatting exactly of that cell. I have a couple of options. I can highlight all, let's say I want to do it to all these headings. I can highlight those headings and do the same steps. I can give it a black fill, I can make the font color red, change the Times New Roman, so on and so forth. Another kind of neat little tool is I can click on the cell, go to home, and I can go to this paintbrush right here. This is the Format Painter. So I click on that, and you can see it has a little kind of dashed line around the cell. That's telling me that it's copied something. So if I go here and click it on sale price, and you can see I have a little paintbrush on my mouse also, it applies the exact same formatting. So it's a really convenient way, especially if you don't remember all the little steps you did for the formatting. It's a really convenient way to transfer that formatting to another cell. That is all I have for this lesson. I appreciate you listening. I hope you learned something. Maybe you enjoyed it. Keep watching. On this unit, we're going to continue formatting, but next we're going to talk about alignment and indentations. Have a good day.